Hey there, Angie here with I Feel the Rush in Brillion, Wisconsin, and today I'm going to be showing you the very first steps in making your own duck wing wreath. It's fall, it's duck season here in Wisconsin, so we're having an awesome time out in the marsh, and I just wanted to share with you my most recent idea, a new project that's going to be super special because for those of you who may not be familiar, ducks are federally protected, so duck feathers is not something generally that you can purchase, or wings or anything of that nature. So it's definitely going to be something that you harvested yourself, or maybe somebody in your family has harvested duck wings, ducks that you can use the wings for, and that's that. So we here in the Gady family have been super fortunate in the marsh this week and last week, so we have some ducks. And I just wanted to walk you through the very first steps that I take in creating this beautiful wreath that is super fallish and amazing out on our door here in Wisconsin. So I'm going to take you through the first steps. First things first, gloves. Super important, not only because you're handling these animals, you know, we've de-breasted them, so they are open, so you're not going to really want to be handling those kind of things. And also I wanted to mention, obviously they're wild animals, folks. So they have little critters on them and whatnot. So I put on gloves, and then another thing I do, which is a super easy tip, is I take Vaseline, and when I have my glove on, I take a little Vaseline and I rub a little bit around my wrists, because in the event that some of those little critters go creeping and crawling off, they're not gonna hurt me, but it's just gross. I don't like bugs crawling on me. So it just kind of, you know, slows them down a little bit for you to wipe them away. So that's that. Secondly, the next thing that I do is when I have my duck, and I'm just going to show you one for an example. When I have my duck and I'm going to be harvesting the wing, I use a utensil called, and I apologize because I just got done using this, Easy Cut ratcheting pruners. Now, if you don't have a pair of these, I would be doing a disservice if I didn't tell you, go and check them out. It's no benefit to me if you do or don't, but it's an awesome utensil and it makes super quick work of removing the wings. You can use these for everything. I use them in the yard. I use them up north. I use them when we're camping, when we're hunting, all over the place. So I usually just keep them in my hunting bag. But today I got them out, and you're going to take these and you're going to clip it just super close to the wing. You're going to feel in there, there's a little bit of a joint. Clip, off comes the wing, off come both of the wings. So there are other things that I do with the feathers, but I'm going to save that for a different video. So that's removing the wings. Now you have your wings. I'm going to show you here. And the way that I'm actually going to be drying these is out a little ways like this, because when I put them around the wreath, I want more of the color to show. I want more of the wing to be open and visible, because as you can see, I mean, this one's really pretty. This is from a teal. But I have mallards, I have other ones in here, and bigger and smaller. So obviously you can see this one's a real big one and beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use borax. So that's the next step, is using borax and putting it in a little shallow container. I just take borax and apply it to this open part here because it helps to dry it out. There's no other open meat or anything like that on this wing, so I just applied the borax really heavily in there, and then I put them in a tray like this. So here's my wings, but I put them in a tray like this, and you can do a couple different things. If you're ready to put them on cardboard for drying, you can do that right away. If you're not going to be able to do that right away, I would bag them and put them in freezer bags. Flat, you can pile them up together if that's easier. Like you can put one wing on top of another wing and freeze them that way, just because then you can use them a little bit later on. So that's the second thing that I do, is prepare them using the borax. Now be careful, obviously, because borax is poisonous to animals or anything else, so make sure that you keep that borax container somewhere safe, dispose of it as soon as you're done using it, and then that'll be good for your animals and stuff, because we have dogs around the house. So the next thing, if you are going to be ready to pin it, or when you are ready to pin it, you can pull those wings out of the freezer. The important thing is that however you leave your wing out of the freezer or wherever is how it's going to dry. So that's why it's so important to be either pinning them right away or freezing them, because once they dry up and you leave them dry like this, you're never getting them open again. So we just harvested these birds over the weekend and I am ready to start pinning. Now the easiest part for me to explain to you is I'm going to be using some of these little push pins, and you'll see they're the kind with the little T-top. I don't really know what the name of these are, but this is the kind that I use because I can kind of tuck that in and it kind of holds that wing in place. So I'm going to pull out 2 of those here, and then I'm going to show you, oops, and then I'm going to show you exactly where I pin. Generally, I put a pin here because this is kind of where there's a good fleshy part for the pin to go in, and then I'll put a pin here. So where my fingers are is generally about where I pin. So I'm going to go ahead and pin one side, and then I'll hold it up for you to see. Give me one moment. And I use any cardboard. So this is an Avery piece of cardboard that we got some products in. So basically I put that pin in one corner here. And as you can see, it's already holding the wing on the board. So be careful, the pin comes out the other side, you know. Just be careful when you're using your pins. And then I'm also going to put a pin up in here, kind of where I showed you. Maybe about here. It's a little trickier doing it when I'm holding it here. So there you go. So 2 pins, one right here and one right here, and this is holding this wing open. There's no right or wrong answer as to where you put those pins, how far out you want your wings. You know, you could get a real big board and you could run your wings all the way down so you kind of can see if you have them out about the same distance. Birds are all different sizes. They're all different shapes. So the wings are not going to be symmetrical throughout your whole wreath. So the big thing to remember is just to be creative and don't worry about perfectionism, because that's definitely not important here. What's important is just getting these out so that they'll dry, you know, in the way that you want them to, so that you can use them for your wreath. So that's it. That's the very basics. The first step in making our wreath, and as soon as these are dry, I'm going to make another video and I will get it out to you guys so you can see the next step. So check back with us and keep your eyes peeled for that next video, because it's going to be the most amazing wreath you've ever seen, and you're going to want to start taking up duck hunting if you haven't already. So yeah, how many duck hunters out there have been throwing these wings away for years? You're going to see this wreath and think, I have been making a mistake. And you're going to change your tune. You're going to make one. So let me know if you have any questions so far just about the pinning process. Maybe you want to use these for something else. But otherwise, that's it. First steps. We'll see you back here when it's time to make the wreath. Bye.